Hi Stampers, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm working with the Stars Are Shining bundle, and I'm going to show you a few samples of the cards that I made. And we're also going to be making a couple of cards. So I just wanted to show you some of these really quick. And stay to the end, because after we make the cards, I'm going to go back through these samples and talk about them and what's unique about them and some of the different supplies that I used on them. So I think you'll be interested in hearing some of that. And finally, we have a Halloween card. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, Stars Are Shining is a Christmas stamp set and punch, coordinating punch, but I have made a few different cards with it to show you that it can be very versatile. You don't have to just use it for Christmas. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to get started right away. And so again, Stars Are Shining, great Christmas stamp. I love the little ornaments and the stars, of course, and I love the sentiments. It's got some pretty sentiments with some great font. Stampin' Up! Always has great font with their sentiments. So we got the stamp set, and then we have a coordinating punch. And you guys know that I love any stamp set that has a coordinating punch because it just adds that wow factor to your card, and it's quick and it's easy and it's versatile. So like the stars you're going to see in my samples at the end of the video, you can use those for all different kinds of occasions. But today I wanted to share with you a dual DSP card. So we're going to make two cards, and they're really quick and easy, and it's using a 4-inch piece of designer series paper. And this paper that I'm using today actually is from the Tidings of Christmas card pack. So it's 6x6 paper. There's 48 sheets, and you get multiples of each one, so you can make lots and lots and lots of cards, and the paper is just gorgeous. And again, it's double-sided, so you have lots of options with that. So that's what we're using, and we're also going to make it on red cardstock. So I have 2 pieces of red cardstock, so we're going to make two cards, and it's 11 by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 5 1/2. So we're going to do that. Okay. Then for the front of each card and for the inside, I'm using white, and it's 5 1/4 by 4. So I have one for the front and inside for both cards. So let's get started. First thing you're going to do is you're going to take your piece of designer series paper, and I cut mine to 4 by 4, and that's because it's going to fit this matte piece right there. So if you didn't want a matte piece and you just wanted to put this right on your card front, for example, right on here, you would make it 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. I'm just looking because that looks like it didn't fold very well. What happened? Well, we'll deal with that when we get to it. So you've got your piece of 4 by 4, and I need my cutter, not my scoreboard. So you're going to put your 4 by 4 down on your cutter, and the only thing you have to think about is the opposite side. If it has a pattern or a design, you want to make sure that whatever you want to be at the top of your card is in the right direction. But I'm just using paper that doesn't have a pattern. So what I'm doing is I'm lining it up to 1 inch there and 1 inch there. So let me see if you can see that. So I've got it at 1 inch there, 1 inch here, and I'm going to give it a cut right down. Okay, those are the 2 pieces that I'm going to use. So if you wanted to make, use the same side for your cards and just mass produce a bunch, you could definitely do that. But let's make this one first. So let me bring in a stamping piece. So this is going to go like that, right there. And I'm going to bring in my stars stamp. So it's got all these stamps on one stamp. So it's got multiple, it's got about 6 stars on one stamp. And I am just going to go ahead and start stamping on the top of my cardstock. And let's see here. Let me bring in a scrap so I don't stamp right on my baseboard there. Okay, so I am going to just stamp here and there. I'm kind of moving my stamps so they're not all in the same direction, but when you get them all on here, that's really not going to show too much. Okay, so that's that. And again, this is going to go like that. Then let me bring in a scrap of white and go ahead and stamp my sentiment so we get that out of the way. And I stamp Joy to the World. And I did that in real red. And then I used the dual oval punch. This is a great punch to use with sentiments. So many sentiments fit so nicely right there. And you get the nice little oval. And then I'm going to bring in, I can find it, I had it here. Well, I'm going to bring in the dark evergreen. And I had it here and I had it here. Where did I do with it? Well, I don't know. So I got to bring in another piece. Let me take one more look before I start cutting. Don't know. Well, anyway, I am going to cut an oval. You know, I'm going to find it as soon as I punch. Oh, I found it. Ha! Good. So I'm going to punch an oval, scalloped oval, and that's going to be the background for my sentiment. Then I also, off camera, cut a strip, so obviously you can use scraps for this, and that's going to go on our card also. And this card is the easiest one, so let's go ahead and put it together really quick. So I got a new glue here. Ooh. So yeah, definitely stay to the end because I'm going to show you those cards that I showed you in the beginning up close so we can talk about them. Then I'm just going to go ahead, and this piece fits perfectly right there. I actually did this out of order. Before I put this white piece on the red, I wanted to put my strip on so I could cut it. Nice and straight. But I didn't do that, did I? So let's see how I do. Hold on a second. I like to have my silicone mat so after I put glue on something I can kind of get some of that extra off if I think I have a little bit too much. So I'm just going to put that, I'm going to butt it right up to that designer series paper, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it like that. Now the smart thing to do would have been to stamp this and adhere the DSP, put your green strip on, and then put it on your card base, but I kind of got ahead of myself. So now we're going to go ahead and glue the sentiment onto the scalloped oval. Like that. And then we're going to pop that up with some dimensionals. So if you're watching me live, go ahead and say hi. And if you're watching me on replay later on, go ahead and type in replay. Love to know who's here. Don't forget to click subscribe. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some of this pretty new ribbon, and this is just sheer real red ribbon. And I'm going to go ahead and tie a little bow here. We have a thunderstorm going on. I don't know if you guys can hear the thunder. It was really windy. In fact, when a big branch fell off a tree, which I hate to see that happen. So there's our pretty bow. I'm going to pull it really tight. Just give it a little trim here. And bring in a glue dot. I'll play with that bow a little bit more, but there we go. Okay, so for the inside, I'm just going to stamp another sentiment that comes in the set, and let's see which one do I want. I think since we have all these stars, I am going to stamp Twinkle Twinkle Christmas Star. And maybe I'll add, if I can find that little teeny tiny stamp, I'll add a few stars. I think that's it. And keep it very simple. So this card would be easy to mass produce. And there's going to come a day when you're going to go, uh-oh, I need some Christmas cards. So this could be one that you could make. Quick and easy. And pretty. Okay. There you go. It's card number 1. Now, this one, I'm excited to show you this one because on this one I'm using the gilded leafing. So this is a fun little thing to use, and there's lots of ways you can use it, and I'm going to show you a really easy way, and it really adds a lot to your card. So I have to trim this card base because for some reason it looks a little bit off. So let me bring this in. I'm not sure what happened. Let's see now. Just making sure that this is going to fit okay. I'm going to have a little trim there. All right, so we're good. So now on this one, we're going to use the other side of that designer series paper that we cut. And it's going to go like that. And first we're going to do some stamping. So I'm going to bring in the ornament stamp. And I gotta find the other stamp. Here it is. The the string for the ornaments. So I'm using crumb cake for that. I like to use crumb cake when I have some gold in my card because it kind of imitates that gold color very subtly. So if you don't want to heat emboss or do anything too involved, you can bring in the crumb cake, and I think it works great. So first thing I did, excuse me for clearing my throat there on camera, I'm going to do the real red and I'm going to do the ornaments. So I went ahead and positioned my ornaments on one stamp block, and I'm going to stamp them all at once. And I'm going to leave some space down here at the bottom because I want to put my sentiment down there. But that's how I did this. So let me ink this up in the real red. And I just want to make sure that I don't have any excess on my block. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this up near the top of that designer series paper. Okay, then I'm going to bring in my little ornament string, and I'm going to stamp that you know what? I'm going to turn this over. That one didn't do very well. So let's do that one more time. Ink that up in real red. Okay. And stamp it up here. Now you can obviously stamp each one of these individually. That works fine. Perfect. That works great too. So now I'm going to kind of look at each one of these ornaments and just go ahead and stamp in crumb cake the little tie. And it doesn't matter if it's going off, because this is, you know, this is going to be here like that. But you kind of want to look at it. And this one's going to go here. All right. So now that's going to go on top there, which I can go ahead and glue down. And then we're going to put those gold gilded flakes on. And that's the fun part. Okay. So what made me think of doing this was I was going to use a piece of gold ribbon, but it was too wide. I didn't want it covering everything up, so I decided to do it this way. So I'm taking a piece of the tear and tape, and I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to lay it on that designer series paper. If my ornaments were lower, I could lay it on the right below it, but I don't want to cover up too much of the ornament strings. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay that there. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim that excess off. My card's a little bit off too. All right. Then I'm going to bring in this is just a paper plate that I covered with foil, because these gilding flakes are very staticky and they get over everything. If you use plastic, it's going to be, whew, I'll fly away. And so I thought this kind of worked pretty good. So I'm going to take off that tear and tape top and expose the sticky. And then I'm going to just take some of these flakes. And I have my ceiling fan on, so they're going to kind of blow away a little bit. And I'm just going to go ahead and attach them to that sticky. Let them fall where they may. It's fine. This is kind of fun to do, actually. So I'm letting those flakes touch all of that sticky. That's it. I'm going to put some of this back in this jar, hopefully. And then we'll show you what the magic is. All right, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is just wipe that excess off. That's all I did. It looks like you have a gold accent there, a gold ribbon. It's really pretty too. All right, let's get this cleaned up. I got a little bit of a mess here. Uh-oh, let's get my vacuum out. Definitely have to get my vacuum out after that. Okay, so now for the bottom, I just have a little strip that I stamped Be Merry and Bright, and I'm just going to shorten that a little bit. I stamped that in real red. I'm just going to put a little banner at the end. So I'm just cutting right up the middle, and then from each corner going up and meeting that little cutout. Then I have a little strip here of real red. Put a little bit of glue on there. And you can use your snail if you like. So that's going to go there. This is going to go right here at the bottom. And I'm just going to glue that down. I'm not going to pop this up. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to the front of my card. There's the front, and inside, let's see, what should I stamp on the inside? Twinkle, twinkle, I think I will do Celebrate the Wonder. I'll do that in real red. And well, you could add your ornaments if you wanted to do an ornament in there. So don't forget, stick around because I want to talk about those pretty cards. You're going to really, really like those. The different things that you can do with this stamp set and with the punch. Okay, so there are our two cards with the dual DSP. Isn't that fun? Simple, just kind of really makes it a little bit different, and it's easy, right? So let's bring in the other cards. Now this is a video that I did last week. I just want to put a couple of these things away here. So this one, there is a video out there on this YouTube channel, and this one I did little accents. This has the Dazzling paper behind the stars, and again on this one I used a gold ribbon. So this is gorgeous new ribbon. Now these are supplies that are in the mini catalog. So if you're a customer of mine, you should have got the mini catalog in the mail. And if you don't have the catalog and you'd like one, just let me know. You can email me, and it's easy. It's stampandshout@gmail.com. So this card is a baby card. So I really like the layout of this, and I used the Tasteful Labels die cuts, and I used all the different shapes for that, and it's in the Fresh Freesia and Balmy Blue. So it says, "So very happy for you." Now what I like about this one is you just change the colors of this, you know, the background designer series paper. This paper is from the Pansy Petals designer series paper. But you could just make this out of bold colors for a graduation card, whatever the color of the high school is. Put congratulations on here, or a thank you card, or just a "you are the best" kind of a card. So this is a great layout for a lot of different occasions. So there you go. This one, okay, again I used the Dazzling designer series paper, and I punched out only one star. So where is my punch? So instead of punching out all 5, I just slid the paper in there and punched out the big star. So that's that one. And then again I used the gold ribbon. And what this is Night of Navy cardstock that I stamped with Versamark, and I used the star stamp all over it, and heat embossed in white powder. So that's how I did that one. Now this one is with the designer series paper from, this is the Peaceful Prince designer series paper, and this paper is 12 by 12. Look at this, it's really cool. 12 by 12, all double-sided, and that is a free choice in the Celebration catalog, which means if you spend $50 in purchases, you earn a free item, and that's what that paper is. So that's pretty darn cool, right? Free. So that's what this is made out of. That's that background. And the stars are heat embossed with the silver embossing powder. And this is going to be a free PDF that's in my newsletter that comes out tomorrow. Every Thursday I do a newsletter with a free PDF that, include that, and this is the card that will be in there tomorrow. And these are the Stampin' Up embossing powders. They come in a set of 3 now. So you can get the metallics, which is gold, copper, and silver. So that's what I used to do this one. This is for last. These are the cards that we made today with the dual DSP. And again, that DSP is the Christmas Tidings. And that's the 6x6 paper. And this one, which is, I think, my favorite, a Halloween card. I just love this one. And this is with the new paper. It's called Cute Halloween. So it's a 6x6. Look how thick that is of all these paper that you get. I think there's 48 sheets in here, all double-sided, and it's really fun paper, or cute, as they say, cute Halloween paper. And this does coordinate with a stamp and a punch also, but I just used the Designer Series paper, and I punched out stars with my star punch, different colors to coordinate, and I used this gorgeous, gorgeous new black gingham ribbon. So that's it. That's all my samples. So if you're interested in knowing anything more about the cards that I made, please leave me comments and questions. I am posting these all week on my Facebook page and on my blog. I'm a little bit behind on my blog, but I will catch up, and you will have some information there. And I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe. Please leave me some comments and like my page.